disgraceful. Let's move on, if we can, to the situation, because you spoke to the New South Wales Premier yesterday and has done a brilliant job throughout this, you know, as long as with her Chief Health Officer. But today, the Deputy Premier, I mean, what's happening there? It's crazy.
The world's gone mad today, hasn't it, Kieran? John Barilaro, the New South Wales Deputy Premier, seeking to blow up the Berejiklian government if he does not get his way on koala legislation. Yes, you heard it, koala legislation. I can reveal Gladys Berejiklian will meet John Barilaro about his threats this afternoon. Planning Minister Rob Stokes in New South Wales had brought forward this legislation to protect koala habitats from developers. This is the latest in a long series of private threats from Barilaro to Gladys Berejiklian and Liberal ministers on several issues over the past couple of years. Barilaro is known to regularly send threatening text messages threatening to pull out of the coalition if the government does not go his way on policy. On this issue, it appears Berejiklian has had enough. The concern from Berejiklian and Liberal camps is even if they cave on this issue, there will be another issue and another issue and then another issue where Barilaro could pull this threat, this stunt. Having said that, Berejiklian had already agreed before this today to make some concessions on the koala bill, and she'd already agreed to have it discussed in Cabinet on Monday. Barilaro is attempting to have his cake and eat it too here. He says he's not moving to the crossbench. The Nationals will simply act as if they were on the crossbench on legislation, and in doing it this way, he does not have to resign as a minister, nor do any of his colleagues. They keep their salaries, they keep their white cars. He is calling Berejiklian's bluff in the belief she will cave to him and not demand his resignation. A National source said to me Berejiklian will have no choice but to cave, but a Liberal minister said enough was enough and the Premier cannot back down as this would be, quote, the end of her. How is the leader of a government handling the pandemic as well as anyone in the world able to put up with this stupidity? Here is John Barilaro earlier today.
We are using our position as a partner in the coalition where our numbers matter. Again, you would like to make the story today that the coalition is dead. It's not, and we'll continue to have conversations. No. Again, Alex, you would love the story to be today that the Liberals win by taking our ministries. That's the last thing that's going to occur. This idea that we're on the crossbench, we're effectively, by abstaining in voting, absolutely. We're probably following what some of the crossbench members do, but we're not on the crossbench. And I'm not going to be lectured to by city-centric individuals about what is best for our region. We're sick to death of that. I've used this term before and I'll continue to use it. You know, it's this city that sends its rubbish out by train every night because you can't stand the smell of your own garbage. I'm sorry, but you can't apply a rule for the city and a rule for the bush once you've already destroyed your own. Don't make us pay for your wrongs.
Fair dinkum. Barilaro is said behind the scenes to have called koalas tree rats. Tree rats, that's what he calls them, a term which annoys the Premier. Have a look at this footage of two of Barilaro's most loyal ministers in the National Party, Sarah Mitchell and Bronwyn Taylor, standing behind him when he makes his announcement. Have a look at the looks on their faces. Do they look happy? Do they look like they're in agreement with this course of action being walked off a cliff? Looks like Scott Morrison dodged a bullet when Barilaro pulled out of the Eden Monaro by-election. There have been some in recent times in the New South Wales government who have questioned how rational Barilaro's decisions have been. Here's some interesting commentary from him on our Eden Monaro by-election election panel, which certainly raised my eyebrows.
I tell you what, I'm still surprised with the marijuana party, mate. 3.5%. I think you know what it is. During COVID, we're in Queanbeyan, we've all been indoors smoking marijuana, and we've come out, and now we're voting for it.
And Kieran, you can try and leave New South Wales politics as I have, but it never sort of leaves you.
Yeah, that's right. That's the old saying with the mafia. But we won't make any comparisons. But let's look at the Chinese story now, because the alleged rape